Hello everyone, welcome to week 2 of Fall 385. It was a pleasure to get to know all of you last week, and I did read through all of your welcome surveys. Some feedback I received from the welcome survey is that in general you like the flexibility of online coursework, you appreciate when professors have clear expectations, and when the material is organized week by week. So I'll be sure to really make sure my directions are clear. I know that for some of you, the directions last week on the standards assignment were not clear, and I apologize for that. So I will work extra hard to make sure that my expectations are clear. Some concerns that people expressed based on previous experiences were unclear directions, not having access to the professor, wait times of several days or more in response to an email, and then just having the difficulty of scheduling with group work and the difficulty of other students completing assignments. So I'm going to address that today. So as far as keeping in touch, between Monday and Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., you should hear back from me within 6 hours. If you do not, it's probably I missed a Slack notification or something happened. So I will not be offended if you email me again or send me a Slack message again. Slack is the quickest way to reach me. I had forgotten to turn the notifications on last week, so that is resolved, and I am getting notifications now. So if you would send me a Slack message, I will be very quick. Email also works, but I only check that a couple times a day. I generally check that in the morning and about midday and in the evening. And so your response time could be longer, especially if you're asking a quick question on an assignment. Almost everyone was assigned to their first choice in the groups. If you didn't get your first choice, it's because you were the only person that chose that time, and there can be no groups of one. The groups are listed on Blackboard. I'm going to show you that, but I've already sent you a direct invitation on Slack to your private Slack channel, and you can only be added to those groups. Other people can't join them. If something happens and your schedule changes at work or something occurs and you need to switch groups, that's fine. I think this is a good compromise. So a lot of people expressed worry about completing assignments in a group. Your grade for the group discussion is independent, but there's a lot of value in having a group discussion. Teachers share or steal, they like to say. We're a crowdsourcing profession. And if you are not familiar with talking to other teachers about teacher things, it can be a tough transition into the real classroom. And so while I appreciate the flexibility of online learning, it's really important to me to still provide opportunities for you to work with other teachers. So you won't be working on assignments that you're completing with other teachers, but you will have these discussions. And I'm going to go over that more in a second. So week 2, the focus is different instructional strategies. Some of these may be familiar to you from other courses. There are 4 tasks for week 2, the week 2 reading, the community service plan, the week 2 discussion group, and the annual pacing schedule. So the week 2 reading is located on Blackboard. And what I've done is, so if you go to week 2, here's the week 2 reading, is that I've added the, in the details, remember you have to go to view assignment. I'm not a big fan of how this works at Blackboard Ultra, but I've added the titles because I know some people are using older editions of the book. So if you're using an older edition of the book, this is where the reading starts, and the titles should still be the same, okay? So another thing that you'll see is the rubric, which I'm going to go over, but you can review it as well here. So this is the first task is to read between now and Thursday these pages, okay? And these are the questions you'll be discussing with your group. You do not need to submit anything here on Blackboard. So if you like to submit something because you don't want to worry about it saying late or whatever, you can actually just submit here like done or completed and that. The second task is the community service plan. The community service plan is right here, and basically you're going to have to complete 20 hours of community service attached to this course. That is a requirement of the university, and I did check because I thought, well, Do we still want to do that in a pandemic? And I was told yes. So if you have concerns about going out, you're going to have to find things you can do from home. Care packages, you could do food packages to the homeless that you drop off. You could, donate food. You could read to children at home. You could write letters to senior citizens. I'm not sure, but there are things you can do from home. So we just would have to have a little creative thinking for that. It's pretty open. Almost any nonprofit's going to work for me. So all I want this week is for you to kind of think, what would I plan on doing? And you're just going to write a short plan here in the box, okay? I'm planning on doing this in the right submission box, just so I know that you're thinking about it and that you are on the right track. The third task is the weekly discussion group. So like I mentioned, you're already in your group on Slack. Here's some guidelines. You should meet approximately 30 minutes. I'm not timing it. If you meet for 22 one week and 35 the next, it's fine, but it should be more than 10. You should use Slack, and you're going to chat either via the app or the web browser, but you'll all be on Slack at the same time. And it should be a conversation. It shouldn't be post, repost, post, comment. It should be a conversation. I've given you questions to start that conversation, but you're welcome to go off of those questions and further into the book. If I am available and I see that your conversation has started on Slack on the app, then I may pop in and participate for a few minutes. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden I'm there. But if I am available and I see that that's happening, then I try to hit every group's chat a couple times throughout the semester. This is the rubric for discussion, so you're graded independently. You're graded on 2 criteria: your demonstration of the understanding of the reading and your participation in the group discussion. So you can see this is on a scale of 10 points, 10, 8, 6, and 2, and it is attached to the assignment as well. So you could review this rubric. But what I'm really looking for is thorough conversations that reference back to the book without long quotes, but really demonstrate your understanding and are conversation-like. So if you imagine being in a real classroom, sitting at a table with a group of people and talking about the book, that's what I'm trying to emulate here. So that's the rubric that I'll be using. The fourth task is the annual pacing schedule, and this is referenced in your book, okay, in the reading, so this will make a little more sense in the reading, but I also have some exemplars for you. Okay, so the annual pacing schedule is here. And again, to get to all of the materials, you have to go to View Assessments. And then here are the directions. These are the specific directions on the assignment, and then these are 2 exemplars. All right, so here are the directions. You are going to make a chart that plans out history curriculum for a year. And I'm going to show you 2 examples. These are generally in a Word document, but you could do that in a Google Sheet. You could even do it in a Google Slide. I've seen some very creative charts. So whatever makes sense to your mind, please look at the examples. The examples are going to answer so many questions that you have. But what you're planning is sort of the big picture. What are the units based on the standards that I would cover in 3rd grade? And what are some generic activities I might include? And what other types of text would I include in those activities? It's a big picture, not nitty gritty. So you want to make sure that you use California standards, okay? So you can either share it with me or you can put it in Blackboard. I shouldn't say Dropbox. That's old. Okay, so this is an example. So you can see it's just a table. Here's the month, approximate how many weeks, what's the topic, what are the standards, and what are the activities. And so you can see that they've included different resources, some videos, some textbooks that they would use, some different assignments that they would use, a field trip, okay? Same idea with this one, okay? The month, the time frame, the topic, the standard, the activities. And again, you can do this in different formats. I've seen some really creative ones or some more simple ones like this, and both of those are acceptable. Just a few guidelines on grades because I'm going to be beginning to post grades. If you get a 0, it means I didn't see it. I would never give a student a 0 in any grade level on an assignment unless they didn't do it or if it was a plagiarism issue. If you think there's an error, send me a message. Send me an email, okay? I am not a robot. I'm going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. You are not robots. You're going to make mistakes. So we can always fix errors. I'm not worried about it. If you have a catastrophe, your computer breaks, your Wi-Fi breaks, you have a flood in your house, whatever, reach out to me, okay? And we'll give you more time. If there's a family issue, reach out to me. If you have questions on the assignment, reach out to me. I'm always willing to give extra time if I'm notified in advance. What is troublesome as a teacher is to be contacted several weeks later and be like, oh, well, this happened. There usually should be time to send either a message or an email and ask for additional time. All right, well, I hope you have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, please send me an email or send me a message on Slack, and I am around for you. And I will be keeping in touch midweek after I've had a chance to review your standards assignments from week 1. All right, take care, guys. Bye.